How do you crowd out, as Neville Goddard said, all other thinking? There's a crowd of thoughts in there that are shit. You must crowd them out by replacing them with new ones. Sometimes that might take a little work. Sometimes that might take a lot of thinking during the day. Sometimes that might feel obsessional. Yeah, that's what you need to do sometimes, to crowd them out. Because some of you don't recognize how unbelievably shit your thinking really is. So guys, I had a question today on my YouTube and it said, I feel like I'm putting love and a relationship on a pedestal. How do I not do that? And then you guys just said you want a Loz lesson about the difference between persisting and obsessing. And I think sometimes when you guys are manifesting love, when you're manifesting back a specific person, whatever it is to do with relationships that you're manifesting, sometimes you feel a bit obsessional because you feel like you're thinking about it a lot. The problem is you guys would be thinking about it anyway, wouldn't you? So if you've gone through a breakup, wouldn't you be thinking about the person? Wouldn't you be missing them? Wouldn't you be sitting around being sad, crying? Probably. So I would rather you spent that time thinking of you and your specific person together, use that brain space to actually think differently about the situation rather than being sad and missing them. Because if you were honest with yourself, if you've gone through a breakup or you're in love with someone and you're not in a relationship with them yet, you're going to think about it anyway, right? And because now you're consciously changing your thinking about the situation, you feel like you're being obsessional, but you probably don't realize that you probably would have been obsessively thinking about the breakup anyway, obsessively missing them anyway, obsessively still ruminating about what they said and how they hurt you anyway. So what's the difference? Wouldn't you rather be having new thoughts, new positive thoughts about the situation and new positive thoughts about yourself than being sad and missing them and being upset? A lot of you don't seem to realize what you would be doing instead. Now, what this person said to me was, I feel like I'm putting love on a pedestal or relationships on a pedestal. Guys, you're allowed to be in love with your specific person. You're allowed to like someone. It'd be really, really odd if you were married to someone and you didn't even like them. If someone said to you, gee, you're a bit obsessed with your husband, and you're like, bitch, I'm married to him. Right? Some of you are mistaking doing new thinking, having new thoughts about your person as obsession. It's simply you liking them sometimes, right? It's simply how you would feel if you're in love with someone and you're having good thoughts about them. Now, the difference is when you guys are saying maybe you're putting it on a pedestal or you feel like you're being obsessional when you're manifesting a specific person back, is that you feel like you're spending a lot of time on the thoughts of them. A lot of time on the new thoughts about you. Now, don't you spend a lot of time on the old thoughts about you? Don't you spend a lot of time on the old thoughts about them? So if you ruminate in your mind all the time, arguing with them in your mind about the breakup or thinking of the things that they said that hurt you, don't you spend a lot of time doing that? Some of you obsessively do it. Some of you lie in bed crying about it. Some of you get it going about your day and all of a sudden you have flashbacks about breakups or what the person said that hurt you and you relive it. I would say that's pretty obsessional. Some of you are doing that a lot and you don't realize you're doing it. Some of you have arguments in your mind with your specific person and you don't realize you're doing it. Some of you get upset during the day and say things in your mind like, why were you so mean to me? Why did you do that to me? This wasn't fair. Don't you think you're obsessively doing that, some of you? But you're not recognizing it. And the reason you're not recognizing it is it's just second nature to you because you think a lot of negative things a lot and don't realize it. You ruminate on the past and think of the past a lot without realizing it because it comes so naturally to you. So then when a manifestation coach comes to you and says, think differently about this situation and think of it often, you feel like you're being obsessional, but really all you're doing is replacing all that old shitty thinking that you already have, that you're actually persisting in and sometimes being real obsessional about. Now, all persistence means is doing something constantly, persistently, with persistence on a regular basis. You don't just give up halfway through. You persist. And Neville Goddard says, persist, persist, persist until it hardens into fact. And a lot of you feel like, oh God, well, I've been thinking this now for 2 weeks about my specific person. I've been living in the end. I'm working on my self-concept. Where is he? Well, fuck, bitch. How long have you been thinking the other shit? Oh, well, we broke up 6 months ago, so I've been thinking 6 months of shit about this person. I've been arguing with my mind for 6 fucking months, and now I just discovered you, and I've only been doing this for 2 weeks. And before that 6 months, well, I'm 26 years of age, so I've actually been thinking, well, about 20 years worth of shit obsessively about myself. A lot of it's really been negative. So this 2 weeks really isn't that obsessional. It's actually just me suddenly noticing how unbelievably negative my thoughts are about myself, about my relationships, about what happens to me, about how things don't work out. And I feel like I'm being obsessional. No, all I'm doing is noticing, Jesus Christ, I have a lot of really negative thinking. They're not intrusive thoughts. They're just negative thoughts. And there's a fucking shit ton of them. And some of you feel like you're being obsessional, replacing them. Well, what's the alternative? Because some of you don't realize what the alternative is. Some of you don't even recognize how often you're thinking the old shit. And if you bothered to do my Fuck the 3D course, because some of you who are feeling real obsessional out there and feeling like you can't persist because you're like they're ensconced in your brain and all you think about all day is your specific person, this feels hard. You don't understand that your mental diet has always been really shitty. And now you're trying to change it. And if you did my mental diet diaries in Fuck the 3D, you would realize that your mental diet is probably still bad. Because that's what happened to the people in the squad when it was part of my squad membership. People were shook at how bad their thinking really was. Even when they were persisting, even when they were thinking affirmations, when they were having new visualizations about them and their specific person, about their situation, when they were trying to tell themselves that circumstances don't matter, they were thinking a whole lot of other shit. I could say to you, oh yeah, sometimes you guys get real obsessed with thinking the new thoughts. But I want you to think the new thoughts. That's the point. How do you crowd out, as Neville Goddard said, all other thinking? There's a crowd of thoughts in there that are shit. You must crowd them out by replacing them with new ones. Sometimes that might take a little work. Sometimes that might take a lot of thinking during the day. Sometimes that might feel obsessional. Yeah, that's what you need to do sometimes, to crowd them out. Because some of you don't recognize how unbelievably shit your thinking really is. If you went and did my mental diet diaries in Fuck the 3D, you would sit down after 21 days and go, holy fucking shit, I am arguing with my person in my mind. I have relived the breakup about 30 times. I have cried and cried in my bed. I've argued and thought what I'm going to say to them when I send this text. And when I hear from them, I'm going to say this and you hurt me and why did you do this, and ask them why. Affirmation, 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 affirmation. Visualization, sleep tape. Yeah, but he hurt me and he's an asshole and I'm going to say to him when he comes back, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to set this boundary and say to him, I don't want you to hurt me again. And if we're back together, I want this to be a full-blown relationship. I want you to tell me what we are. Some of you do that. That's what you're obsessively thinking all fucking day. And you think just doing a few affirmations and doing a few sleep tapes every couple of nights and visualizing is obsessional. Do you recognize what you're obsessively thinking right now that's not good? Most of you fucking don't, and that's why it's not here. The playlist this video is in is called Why It's Not Manifesting on my YouTube. You know why I created that playlist? Why every single Loz lesson I'm doing is based on why it's not manifesting? Because most of you don't realize why it's not manifesting. Most of you are listening to A-grade fuckwits who are blowing hot air up your own ass and saying, you're limitless. Doesn't matter what you do, you can't fuck this up. Yes, you fucking can, you complete moron. Of course you can. You manifest what you're aware of. Oh, I don't want to say that because I want to be like a rah-rah coach and I want people to feel real positive when they watch me and feel like they can do this. Yes, they can do this. But if they're also doing the other shit at the same time, it won't manifest the way they want. They'll just manifest what they're currently aware of. If they're currently aware of their breakup, if they're currently aware their person doesn't love them, if they're currently aware of the arguments in their mind about the specific person, they're just going to manifest more of him not coming back. Oh, I'm aware of that, but I really, really want people to feel like they can do it. So when they watch me, they feel really buoyed and then they go away from my videos and they feel like shit. But then they come back to the video and they watch it and they feel better. Guys, do you want the truth or do you want to actually manifest what you want. If you want to manifest what you want, you have to crowd out all other thinking. Yeah, it might feel obsessional. What are you doing right now? Oh, I don't like having to think all these new thoughts. My brain fights me. No shit, you've been thinking it for 26 years. Your brain's formed those thoughts. It doesn't like the new thoughts you're having. Oh, when I do your sleep tapes, your voice goes funny and I can't listen to it. And sometimes I turn it off in the middle of the night. Yeah, because your brain doesn't want to hear these new thoughts. Oh, sometimes when I do visualizations, I start thinking of the breakup and I think of all the hurt he caused me when I'm trying to do a visualization. Yes, because your brain's trying to make you not get hurt again by thinking of the thing that really happened. Oh, so sometimes this is a little bit hard. Sometimes fighting your subconscious mind is difficult. Who said this was a walk in the park? Oh, well, I look at a lot of thumbnails on YouTube and it says like magic or manifest overnight or this one technique or do this one thing and you'll manifest. Okay, has that worked yet? Oh no, I watched all those videos. It hasn't manifested yet. Okay. So maybe, do you think maybe that you're just doing a lot of watching and then you're obsessively still thinking other shit and you think you're doing the techniques like the affirmations and stuff, but you're really also doing the other stuff? Oh, maybe I am also thinking all the old stuff still. So how much time and brain space do you think you're going to need to take to now crowd that out? How much of your day are you thinking bad shit? I have no idea. We'll go and do my mental diary and find out. 21 days later. Oh my God, I'm thinking bad shit 80% of the day when I'm not asleep. Okay. So tell me, out of that 80% of the day that you're thinking bad shit, what percentage of your day are you doing these techniques that it's going to change that thinking? Oh, I'm actually only doing a visualization in the morning when I wake up and then occasionally during the day saying some affirmations. And then at nighttime I put a sleep tape on. So you manifest what you're aware of. And 80% of your day you're aware of bad thoughts, hurt thoughts. He's not here. He did this. He hurt me. He was mean to me. He doesn't love me. Where is he? Where is it? And then you're doing 20% of the other shit. Oh, but I feel like I'm being obsessional doing this other shit. You're obsessively thinking the bad shit. Oh, fuck, I am too. Now, I'm not saying robotically affirm. If you're doing that absolute bullshit, and if you're going to come in my comments and say to me, that worked for me, bitch, it's because you weren't doing anything before. Okay? You can robotically affirm till the fucking cows come home if you really want to. And if you found a really good affirmation that worked for you and you feel better, or I'm not thinking the old thoughts anymore. Yes, but have you got your fucking manifestation and has it stayed around? Oh, no, I haven't got that yet. Well, how has it succeeded? How has it worked for you? Oh, I just feel a bit better. What? Come over to my group where people actually get their person back and keep them. Oh, is that what happens in your group? Yes, because I don't teach them techniques. I just teach them to change their concept of themselves and then everything changes in their reality and their person comes back. But they might have to persist in some new thinking and I don't tell them to do it robotically. Guys, you don't have to do it robotically. So let me just tell you how to do it. Go and do my mental diaries if you want to. If you don't want to do that, okay, you don't want to do the Fuck the 3D course. It's only $245. It's on my website. Just get a diary. And every single day, morning, noon and night, I want you to honestly write down your thoughts. What you're really thinking. You'll feel sick. Where is he? He isn't working. What's he doing on his Instagram? Who's that girl? He loves me. I am loved. I am loved. Going to bed that night. Sleep tape, sleep tape, sleep tape. Waking up in the morning. I'm in a beautiful, happy relationship. He loves me so much. Let me just check his Instagram again. Why hasn't he called me? Why hasn't he texted me? He said that thing. He was so mean. Most of you are doing that, and then you're also not actually concentrating on your self-concept. A lot of you are obsessively, if you think you're being obsessive, be honest, a lot of you are obsessively thinking about your specific person. That is not what I teach you here. If you're doing that, yeah, you're probably feeling real fucking obsessive. I don't teach you to sit around all day thinking about your specific person. I teach you to figure out why you lost your fucking specific person and change that. And that's about you. It literally has nothing to do with them. They can only reflect the thoughts you've always had. And if you don't change the thoughts you've always had, they won't be coming back anytime soon. Or when they do, they leave again. Trust me, that's why I started this account, because I learned that lesson. Oh, so I feel like I'm being obsessive because I'm sitting around all day, focusing on them, saying affirmations about them, doing visualizations with them. Yes. Hello. Stop. You manifest from what you are, not what you want. You're doing a whole lot of wanting and a whole lot of visualizing about them and trying to change them and trying to change the outside. This is an exercise in changing yourself. What are you obsessively doing to change yourself? Are you doing self-concept affirmations 80% of the day? And only like 20% of the time thinking about your specific person, visualizing them? Oh no, it's like the other way around. I'm 80% of the day thinking about them. Well, no wonder you feel obsessive. Look, guys, I came up with the 80%, 20% thing probably 3 years ago now, and people have changed it. They've changed it to 30 and 70 and 80 and 20 and block me so I can't see them repeating it. Only think of your specific person 80% of the day. Really, bitch? Where'd you hear that? Most of you aren't doing that, and that's why you feel obsessive. So it's one of two things. Either you're obsessively thinking about your specific person all day, or you really are shocked by how much you have to think new thoughts about yourself to crowd out all other thoughts. One of the two. That's why you'll feel obsessive. Because you're not used to thinking good things about yourself. You're not used to putting positive thoughts in your mind. You're not used to crowding out all other shitty thoughts. You're starting to really notice the shitty thoughts, and it's shocking the shit out of you. That's the other thing. The third thing. When you really start noticing the shitty thoughts, it feels shocking. And you feel like, God, I'm really going to have to think new things a lot to get rid of this. No shit. That's what my mental diary is all about. It's in Fuck the 3D. Go and do it if you really want to see what you're doing. Otherwise, get a diary and literally write your thoughts down. Then reverse them all. So I'm sorry if you're feeling obsessional, but sometimes this takes work. Some of you have had hot air blown up your asshole for so fucking long with people who tell you that you can do this overnight and you can manifest so easily and you're limitless and bing, and I'm so fucking sorry. Now, I'm not saying to obsessively think about how crap your thoughts are all day. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you just have to think differently. So when the thoughts come up that are negative, think the opposite. I'm not saying sit around all day affirming 24 hours a day. I'm certainly not saying that. I'm just saying when you become aware, and this is the whole point of this, the power of your awareness, you become aware of what you have been thinking and what you're currently thinking that isn't good, that is negative, that are arguments in your mind or thoughts of sadness or missing them or whatever, then you change those thoughts. That's when you're sitting there going, oh, he's so mean to me. No, he's my reflection. If I want him to change, I have to change. And I'm no longer that girl. And he's so sweet to me because I deserve to be loved, because I am loved and I'm wanted and I'm chosen. I am enough. And he knows I'm enough. He knows I'm the only choice. He loves me. Like that. Okay? And a lot of you aren't doing that. A lot of you spiral and then you do a technique. And spiral and then do some affirmations. And then ruminate all day about them and then do something else. You've got to be on top of it when it comes up, guys. Okay? Now, if you're the kind of person who doesn't have to do that and you've really got a handle on your brain and you can just walk around in the state of joy all day thinking everything works out for you and everything's done and it is done, well, fuck me. All power to you. Hallelujah. Okay? Lifestyle Manifesting Shannon had a really good TikTok about that today. She was saying, if you can just walk around all day in the state of it is done, that's great. But how many of you can do that? I'm not saying you can't. There are a lot of people who can. And if you can, I congratulate you on your brain power. Some of us really can't. Okay? I'm here for the people who can't. I created this account because I was one of those people who couldn't. Right? If you truly do walk around in the state all day of it is done, it is here, he is mine, I am loved, I'm in a healthy, happy relationship, and you don't have those shitty thoughts all day, I'm so thrilled for you. If you've managed to listen to me for long enough and then you've started to do that, I'm thrilled for you. But some of you have trouble. Loz, why do you look 25 years old? Guys, it's a filter, skin filter. Okay, right? Hi, Megan, darling. Thank you for the gifts. So, guys, what I want you to do is really be honest with yourself about your thoughts. And if you feel like you're being obsessional by persisting in the new thinking, don't worry about it. This is a case of having to persist. As Neville Goddard said, people used to go up to him and say, it hasn't happened yet. And he would say to him or her, what are you doing not imagining it? What are you doing saying it hasn't happened? You're meant to be in the state of it is done. You're meant to still be imagining it is done. He had a wonderful quote that popped up. He posted it yesterday on Facebook, like he's still alive. Someone posted on the Power of Awareness Facebook group yesterday, him talking about a lot of people lose their manifestations because they imagine a certain way, like they want to be in a happy, healthy marriage. They get in the marriage and then they stop imagining that way. They stop being in the state of happily married and they let their old thoughts creep back in and then they wonder where it went. They didn't stay in the imagining. They didn't persist even when they got married. And that's happened to a few people in my group. They've got their specific person back and they've lost them because they didn't stay in that state. You have to persist until you fucking drop dead, guys. This is a lifestyle. This isn't something to do. Technique. Oh, he's back. Oh, we got married. Forget everything. Bye. Good luck with that. It's a life change. Exactly, Patricia. It's a life change. And sometimes it might feel weird. Like Neville said, it's like trying on a new suit and wearing it in. Well, for us, it would be like wearing a brand new pair of really, really expensive, well-made, hard shoes. Have you ever had shoes that are really like, they give you blisters and you got to wear them in and make them soft? Apparently the Queen used to have people who wore her shoes for her to wear them in so that when she put them on, she didn't get blisters and sore feet. We don't have those people. We don't have shoe wearers for us. We have to actually do the new thinking ourselves. And sometimes it's a little painful and we get some blisters on our brain. It requires discipline, guys. And sometimes it does feel like a new pair of shoes that are cutting into our ankles. Sometimes it does feel a little obsessive. Don't worry. It's understandable. Okay? You have to wear the shoes yourself. And eventually the shoes will soften. And eventually they'll be worn in and they'll be the shoes you felt like you've worn your whole life, just like the Queen putting on her shoes and thinking, oh, lovely, I've worn these all my life. She really hadn't even worn them before. Okay? I want you to get comfortable in those new shoes, but sometimes it takes a little wearing in. Sometimes it might feel a little hard at first. Sometimes this is a bit of a slog, and I'm not saying it's going to be hard, but sometimes it is. Some people don't like my channel. They don't like me saying sometimes this requires a little work and persistence. Some people want the magic bean. They want the diet pill. They want Ozempic. I am not the Ozempic coach, guys, okay? You don't get that here. That's why people get their manifestations and keep them on my account. You can go get your manifestation or you like somewhere else, but you won't keep it. Sorry. I've seen evidence of that too often. I've seen people coming back crying to me because they've lost their manifestation. Because they didn't persist. They didn't stay in the new state. This is a life change, as Patricia just very aptly put it. Right? So guys, I hope that helped. So please don't feel like you're being obsessional. If you really have trouble with your thoughts about the 3D or your manifestation not being here yet, I do really encourage you to get Fuck the 3D, because it is one of my most transformational courses that people have ever done because of the mental diaries and how on top of their thinking they had to be once they noticed what they were actually really truly thinking all day. And some of you just aren't aware, and you'll manifest what you're aware of, so you need to be aware of what you're really thinking. Okay? And then also go over to my YouTube and watch this, because it's a really great video about your specific person. If you feel like you need to have the talk or tell them off or send them a text asking for things, etc., or setting a fucking boundary, which you should never be doing. You should be doing things in your mind instead. Okay? What are you hearing? Oh, it's probably the beeping of my dishwasher, is it? Hang on, guys. I'm going right back to the top. Wait a minute. I'm going to the top for the questions. Hearing sleep tape demons. Yes, guys. Hang on, guys. Wait a moment. Oh, guys, I can't find the questions here. Just saying you're answering. How? I always reframe negative thoughts. What else? What do you mean how? I just told you how. Lol, hearing the sleep tape demos. Yes, guys, some of you do. Oh my, being in my 50s, I have a whole lot of fighting with my brain to do. Oh, guys, don't beat yourself up because you've got to a certain age and you've only just realised this. Don't worry about it. Now you know better, you do better. Loz, I missed you. Oh, kills. Sometimes it's easy, other times not. Exactly, guys. The overnight affirmations changed my life. Oh, good. And, guys, I do have overnight sleep tapes on my YouTube. Go over there. Use the ones that suit you, like Chosen or Banishing a Third Party, etc. My waking time has gotten better. My sleep still fights me. I listen to sleep tapes. My dreams are crazy. Look, guys, a lot of you don't want to hear it, so turn it right down if you can. Okay, first of all. But sometimes you have to really push through. I don't like doing the sleep tapes either. My brain really doesn't like it. You can listen to ASMR all night. So it's not the sound of the ASMR that bothers me. It's what's being said in the tape. I can listen to ASMR playing all night. This is really telling about sleep tapes. But if I put on my I Am Chosen sleep tape, I can't fucking listen to that thing. Because that's my affirmations. You'd no likey. That's probably why I get frustrated. Yes, guys, a lot of you are. It's crazy how many people think this is about outsiders. It all starts with you. Exactly, guys. How do I stop thinking too much of him? I want to focus thoughts on me. Well, guys, look, when you do get to that point where you're thinking too much about them, then that's when I say you can kind of throw the 80% self-concept affirmations, 20% only them affirmations out the window, because at the moment you're obsessively thinking about them. So whenever you're obsessively thinking about them, then think kindly, loving thoughts about them. They love me. They want me. We're back together. Blah, 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 blah. Think the thoughts that are the opposite of the crazy bad shit you're thinking right now about him, right? And then eventually when you stop obsessively thinking the bad thoughts about them, then you can move on to the self-concept affirmations and thoughts about you. Then you can refocus. I would, if I were you guys, if you feel really obsessional about them, think about them, but add a self-concept element into it. So they can't stop thinking about me because I'm irresistible. They love me so much because I'm so lovable. Add the self-concept in with the thoughts you're having and the new thoughts you're having of them. Sleep tapes makes my brain throw up all negative thoughts in my dreams. I accept it. Oh, really? Hang on, guys. Tell yourself doing self-concept is so fun and easy. Convince yourself to look forward to it. That's a great idea, Lex. Wonderful. Yes, do that, guys. Like, we don't want to be saying this is hard. Absolutely not. Otherwise, love your hair pulled up like that. Oh, thank you, guys. It's just called, I've got a migraine. I'm trying to get rid of it. So I didn't do anything with my hair. Gorgeous cat. Yes, my new sleep tapes have made me start to obsess even more over SP. Why is that? Well, what sleep tapes are you doing, Melissa? Oh, fucking hell. Are you doing mine or are you doing some bullshit? Manifest love overnight and he loves me and he's holding you in bed. Are you doing all that fucking bullshit, Melissa, are you? I bet you are. I bet you're not doing pure self-concept about you, sleep tapes, are you? Are you? And if you are, I'd be really fucking surprised. Guys, you've got to be very careful what you consume. A lot of you are consuming bullshit. Do you honestly think I'm going to come in here and tell you to do self-concept all day and then say to you, oh, and at night time, go and listen to someone's sleep tape about manifesting them overnight and thinking of them. You can do it, but what are you doing the rest of the day? Every time I have a bad thought now, I repeat the opposite of it until I believe it. Good, Lorraine, that's great. Hi, Ada. Loz, you are so accurate. Called me out. I've been more focused on self-concept though. Good, Danielle, good. SP messaged me at 1 a.m. I deleted it while I was doing a guided meditation, but no contact ever since. Keeps watching my stories though. Oh, he messaged you and deleted it. Well, just think, shit, he must be obsessively thinking about me. Give it all good meaning, darling. Thank you, Kat, darling. Guys, give it all good meaning. My boyfriend cheated, working on things, but now I'm obsessed with his location. He's helping, but it's hard. He's helping. What do you mean he's helping? What are you talking about? Darling, if you're with him and he cheated on you and you're constantly worried about where he is and what he's doing and what location he's at, you really haven't forgiven him and understood that you caused what happened. So you really haven't watched me before, have you, Lydia? So if you're constantly expecting him to help you, he can't help you with your shitty thoughts about, I can't trust you. He can't help you in any way. Until you stop thinking he's going to stick his dick in everything that walks and you need to know his location so he doesn't, he's going to continue to do it. Please watch all my videos about trust issues. There's one coming up this week. Make sure you watch it because you've got some and you haven't recognised them, and that's why you're having to stalk his location all the time like a Looney Tune and haven't forgiven him. Self-concept is the main thing when it comes to what you think about you and what you think about him. Yes, guys. I realized how I messed up. The people around me were too. How messed up the people around me were. Yes. Hey, Loz. So we should only be doing self-concept work and affirming a new story about them. Guys, that's all I teach. But if you want to go and do the bullshit other people teach you, go ahead. Loz, how to live in the end after SP said a lot of hurtful words to me yesterday. You go, oh my God, I created that, didn't I? I've got a story that he doesn't love me, or he's a mean guy, or he doesn't want this. So what am I getting annoyed at him for? I'm really not listening to Loz and understanding I'm the only cause. Be obsessed with yourself. Yes, that's great, Sarah. I love that. Okay, it seems better now, guys. Maybe go back out if it's pausing. Oh, it's pausing? Oh. Guys, sometimes it's your internet. Don't blame my fucking internet. Does time matter? While manifesting, I feel rushed. Time is a human construct, darling. We're in the now moment. Now that's gone. Now we're in this now moment. What are you talking about? Stop worrying about it. Hi, Loz. My life is falling apart. Well, then it will, darling, because you're saying it. I've reacted to all my friends and no, they blocked me. Well, no wonder, Megan, because I remember you were here before and then you went away and you've obviously gone away, not done the work, and now everyone's reacting to the old you that you haven't changed. So what are you expecting? Guys, when you go away from my account and you don't watch me anymore and I don't see you in lives anymore, I know what you're doing. I know you've gone away and you've either started watching someone who's blowing hot air up your ass or you're not doing the work. And then you're expecting that everything's going to magically change even though you haven't changed. And then you come back here saying, oh my God, all this shit's happened. Yeah, but you didn't change. What were you expecting? This is reflection. I'm teaching you thought reflection. If you keep thinking people are hurtful to you or pull away from you or your friends are going to block you, then they fucking will. Text yourself with their name to imagine the reply. Yes, do that, guys. You do live in the end all day. Well, good, darling. Loz, why do you look 25? How do you constantly do self-concept like what would be happening in my head? So you think the opposite of the shit that's coming up. So if you start thinking, oh, he doesn't want me. Why isn't he texting me? He didn't even reply to that text. He mustn't want me. You think, I am wanted. Of course I'm wanted. Who wouldn't want me? That guy would have to be a loser to lose me. You think the opposite when it comes up. And whatever thoughts you have about yourself. Loz is beautiful. Oh, Jasmine. Loz, major SP movement. Oh, Megan, really? Tell us. Broke up with SP 2 years ago. Not back yet, but it's just made me realise how shit my thoughts have been. Some of you, there was a girl who wrote, you're not the girl who wrote on my fucking TikTok. I watched you and I've been doing this for 2 years and he's still not back. And I wrote, because you're aware he's still not back. So ta-da, when I talk, you don't fucking listen. You just said it. What you're aware of will manifest. Where is he? He's not here. So the whole time you've been thinking he's not here and wondering where he is and then you're wondering why he's not here. Oh my God, I didn't really listen to you, did I? Were you working on your self-concept that whole time? Oh, no, I wasn't. I was just living in the end of he's here, but really also saying at the same time while thinking he's here, he's not here. Where is he? You weren't doing anything I taught you for 2 fucking years. Why don't you start fresh and then do what I'm actually saying? Oh, well, I go around and watch everyone's videos and every time a manifestation TikTok comes up, I watch that too. So I've got my brain completely confused about what to do, but I'm blaming you because I've watched you for 2 years. Don't blame me, bitch. It's like you went to a personal trainer, me. Now you've also gone to 28 other personal trainers on TikTok and 30 of them on YouTube and you're expecting to be following my program. You just confuse the fuck out of yourself. Two years, and because of you, I am there. Good, Patricia, good. You look young without the filter. Oh, thank you, darling. Hey, Loz, so we should only be doing, yes, guys, I said that. The Secret bestseller and movie in 2006 was followed by the financial crash. Doesn't work. I don't teach The Secret, Carol. Hello, Carol. Hi. I don't teach law of attraction. Law of attraction isn't a thing. And I don't remember anywhere in The Secret movie or the book everyone manifesting no market crash. What are you talking about? I teach you manifestation. You're very confused. Maybe actually watch my videos, darling. I don't teach that absolute bullshit. That book should be thrown in the bin and set on fire. That's how bad that fucking book is. I don't recommend anyone read that trash. Okay? But if we all dominantly think there's going to be a recession next year, guess what's going to fucking happen? We'll all manifest that and then we'll all be like, oh my God, it happened. And then we won't be surprised. Persist, persist, persist. Yes, guys. Had a feeling you'd be live today. Yes. Sorry about my beeping dishwasher, guys. I accidentally turned it on. Loz, I had overnight massive SP shift, huge movement. Oh, Megan, I'm so thrilled. Tell us. What affirmations do you recommend for manifesting SP? Oh, Nikita, you're new here, aren't you? What are your dominant thoughts about you that caused the breakup? What are your dominant thoughts about you that cause you to think they don't love you? What are your dominant thoughts about you, darling? How the fuck do I know what they are, Nikita? I've never even fucking met you. What are your thoughts about you that caused him not to want you? I can't tell you, magic bean. He loves me. Fucking affirmations, guys. This is an exercise in changing you, Nikita. What about you are you thinking that makes you think he won't come back? That's what you need to change. Guys, if you're really fucking lost about this and you're trying to manifest an SP, I beg you to get into the squad this week, because back and begging, my ultimate manifest your specific person back course will be dropping on Monday. If you guys are so fucking confused, you're asking me for affirmations to manifest your SP, and you're so lost that you've been watching videos and asking coaches for SP affirmations, you desperately need to do that course, because you're doing everything wrong to manifest them back. You haven't done anything to investigate yourself and figure out the stories you're holding about yourself and the stories you're holding about him, and you're hoping that SP affirmations will magically help you, and they won't. Back and begging will be dropping on Monday. I beg you guys, if any of you are trying to manifest back a specific person, not a new person, an old one, or you're currently in a relationship, it's not turning out the way you want, that will be the mini course for you. Except it's not going to be a mini course. It's going to go for 2 full months, and it's only $35 a month to be in the squad. So if you join on Monday, you'll get the whole 2 months worth of the course. It's a focused course like Fuck the 3D was. And I swear to God, you'll sit there and go, oh, fuck, I've been doing this all wrong. Videos, workbooks, and MP3 recordings to live in the end with your specific person in the second month. Okay? It's only $35, guys. The link's in my link tree. What should be happening in my head when I do self-concept so I'm not robotically affirming it? Well, Jodine, I don't teach you robotically doing anything, okay? So you're just swapping and thinking new thoughts when they come up, or thinking them like with conviction. So the difference between robotic affirming and the way I teach you to affirm is this. This is robotic affirming. I am chosen, 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 I am chosen. I am loved, 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 I am loved. Eventually your brain starts going, what are we having for lunch? I really need to go to the toilet. This is fucking annoying having to do this. How long do I have to do this? Right? Because it becomes gobbledygook in your mind. I would rather you did this. Instead of doing that for half an hour, I would rather for 5 minutes or 2 minutes out of your day, you were like, I am loved. God damn it, I'm so chosen. Why am I so chosen by him? Well, you know what, Loz? You're so chosen because there's no one fucking like you. And he could search the whole world and never find a girl like you, because you're special and you're unique and you're one of a kind. And so, of course, you're fucking chosen. You are the chosen one. Like that. With conviction, with oomph. Like you're telling a friend how fucking amazing you are. None of this robotic shit is going to actually sink in if it's just turning into gobbledygook in your mind, and it's meaningless eventually. Right? Have you guys ever moved house and then you start driving to your old house and then you get halfway and you think, oh shit, I've just driven to my old house? That's what robotic affirming is like. You're not consciously aware of what you're doing and you're just doing it on autopilot. A lot of you are doing this robotic affirming on autopilot, and eventually it means nothing and has no impact on your brain. And you'll end up at your old house, meaning your old self-concept, and be like, why hasn't it changed? I don't live here anymore. Right? Do it with conviction, please. Spiraling after feeling so solid in the end state, but then discovered SP in new relationship. All right, Lindsay, well, did you think that might happen? Were you obsessively worrying about him, like obsessively trying to manifest him because you were really, really worried about the time and thinking he might not choose you and you better hurry up? If you're really honest, guys, and you've got a real dominant I'm not chosen or I'm not prioritized or I'm not good enough belief, they'll find a third party. And if you're really honest, you're worried about that in your subconscious mind, or worried about the time and you need to hurry up. If you're really, really honest with yourself, and that's why it's happened. So if you know that's why it's happened, then you can change it, can't you? Because you caused it. I'm going to go soon, guys. The intelligence that created galaxies doesn't care. We're not in perfect thought. Idealism, not holism. Carol, I don't even know what that means. That's some woo-woo. What are you talking about? Could you write that in English so I can understand what you mean? My work on self-concept is bringing up some crazy emotions. Is that normal? Absolutely, guys. What do you think this is? You're thinking all old thoughts about yourself your whole life, and suddenly you're trying to put in new ones. Your subconscious mind doesn't like it. It's going to feel emotional. Yes, sometimes it can. Love the analogy. Thanks, lots. Okay, good. Magical thinking is not an equal playing field. Carol, you're very fucking lost. I don't teach anything that you're thinking I'm teaching. I don't talk about universes or galaxies or attraction, or I don't know where you've come from. I don't teach anything you're banging on about galaxies or magic thinking. What are you fucking banging on about, Carol? Do you have a comprehension problem? Maybe, Carol, instead of being this triggered bitch in my comments who's obsessively writing shit about stuff I don't even know what you're saying, why don't you actually bother to educate yourself and actually go to my YouTube and watch what I do teach? Why don't you go to the How to Manifest playlist and watch Law of Attraction versus Law of Assumption and fucking educate yourself instead of being a triggered bitch in my comments? Oh, I don't really want to do that. I just want to be here being a triggered bitch and be righteously right. All right, Carol, well, you look like a fucktard in my comments. You look very uneducated and very naive and very ignorant because you're banging on about stuff I don't even teach. What the fuck? Do you do this to your specific person? Do you have arguments like this with your husband? Fuck me. Bet you get blocked a lot, Carol. Bet you're really fun at parties. Okay, hang on. We're going up. I've lost my place. Wait a minute. How do I manifest back 6K that I regret spending? Well, imagine you didn't spend it, or imagine it comes back in some other form. Okay, but if you regret spending it, darling, you could also decide that you don't have to regret ever spending anything and money will come to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you regret spending stuff and think, oh, I shouldn't have spent that, you're kind of beating yourself up thinking there's not going to be more money coming. Like I went to a clothing sale the other day and kind of anticipated spending $50 and spent $400 and got to the counter and went, oh, fuck, this is way more than I expected. And then I thought, no, I found a dress that I could wear for talks because it was pink, like this kind of coloured, like light pink, kind of like this with zebra print all through it. And it was really cool for like if I did a meet up with you guys. And so I thought, oh, that's a business expense. And I was like, and I actually need that top and I need that thing. And I really love those Givenchy shoes. You know what? Fuck that. I'm spending my $400. I'm choosing my choice. You could do that, darling, as well. After not having contact for 6 weeks, I decided to send him a meme to see how he would respond. Yes, darling, and what happened? Did you have bad thoughts about sending it or good thoughts? You can do anything in 3D that you want, guys, but if you're worried about it, don't do it. That moment and then said, I no longer accept that and identify as a different version. Oh, good, Marielle. I don't know what you're talking about, but yes. What do you do with the what-if thoughts? Well, you banish them immediately and change them, please. Loz, I saw your video on setting boundaries and instead going with him. My SP is engaged and wants to talk to me about it. What should I tell him? We are in a friends with benefits situation. Well, Care Bear, how the fuck have you got yourself in a situation with a guy who's already taken, he's already chosen someone else, and you feel so unchosen in yourself? You're allowing him to have friends with benefits while he's technically with someone else and he's about to marry her. That ain't about him. You can have a talk with him and tell him all you like. What are you going to tell him? Oh, hi, I've got a dominant assumption that I'll never be chosen by you. That's why I'm perpetuating this friends with benefits situation and not expecting a full-blown relationship from you, because I've got such shitty self-concept beliefs about myself that you won't actually choose me and you'll choose another person. So really nothing I tell you is going to make any difference because you're reflecting my story that I'm not good enough to be chosen for a full-blown relationship, and that's why you chose someone else and why you're still fucking me, because I've got a dominant story, I get used and I'm not enough. Is that what you're going to tell him? Don't tell him shit, darling. He's reflecting your story about you. I get used, I'm not enough. You won't choose me, you love her. Don't tell him that. Tell yourself the opposite of that, please. And then fucking question why you're even in that situation and why you're putting up with that shit. Dreamed about SP a few nights ago with him saying everything I've been affirming but nothing in 3D. Well, don't worry about it, darling. Give it excellent meaning to that dream. That night I saw a lot of my affirmations coming back. He was telling me that he couldn't stop thinking small movement by taking the positive. Good, darling, good. I'm baking and cleaning the shop when I'm not in the lives. I miss the coachings every time lately. Oh, really? Oh, there's probably not many coachings, Tanya, that you're missing. They're not that often. What if you mess up so bad, there's still hope with self-concept work to get him back? Stop saying you've messed up so bad, darling. That sounds like you beat yourself up a lot, okay? Loz, my SP took me to meet his grandparents. We had lunch and it was wonderful. Oh, Simone, love it. Really? Oh, that's lovely. Oh, thank you, songwriters, for the finger hearts. And the hot dog. What's a snag? It's Australian. They love me. Oh, lovely, Simone. The Loz lesson at the beginning was really good, to be honest. Oh, good, darling. Thank you. I thought I was working on my self-concept. I'm loved, wanted, chosen. Well, good, darling. Oh, you thought you were. All right, Negan, but then ask yourself how this happened then. What thoughts were you really having? Oh, my dog's snoring. I thought she was making like pain noises. No, not blaming you at all. It's made me realise it's all me. Oh, okay, good, Nix. Part 1, SP called me for the first time after almost 2 months Thursday, but then said Saturday I seem to be in a relationship mindset. I said, no, we can still see each other, and moved on. So you don't want a relationship. So you're pretending you don't want a relationship out loud with him to keep him, are you? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Guys, if you want a relationship with them and they come up with some bullshit about you seem to want a relationship, you seem to be in relationship mindset. Yeah, of course I am. I'm worthy of a relationship. If you don't want one, I'll just have one with someone else. Oh, fuck. I better fucking step up. What are you on about? Well, the secret is hot garbage. Exactly, Dylan. Throw that shit in the bin. Thank you. Any recommendations of other manifestation teachers on here? What about who to avoid? Avoid everyone except Sasha at I Am Sasha Official and Shannon at Lifestyle Manifesting. Everyone else is either verbally regurgitating everything I say or fucking lost as hell, or they were good teachers who now jump on trending topics or get honed in on one trademark thing they think they're teaching, and they crowd out all other things that they should be teaching because they want to trademark that one thing, and then they confuse their followers with that one thing. And then when that one thing doesn't work for their followers, they tell them that's all they should be doing, and then the followers feel bad because that thing that works for them doesn't work for their followers yet. Right? And there was another girl called Lena, but she appears to have completely stopped making videos. She was someone I'd recommend as well. Don't know what happened to her. I think I went and looked at her account a couple of weeks ago because someone asked me, and it looked like she hasn't made a video since June. Some people burn out, guys. But also self-concept is where it's at. Yes, guys, it's all this is. I manifest SP by doing the whisper thing and acted like I was having convos, living in the end, guys. Well, good, darling, but that's living the end of being loved as well. Like, you can live in the end all you like with your specific person. And when you do back and begging, my focus course that's coming up this Monday, starting this Monday in the squad, I will give you living in the end MP3 recordings to play to live in the end of being with your person. That is still self-concept, really, because you're living in the end of being loved, living in the end of being deserving of a relationship, living in the end of being chosen by them. That's fine. But if you're obsessively doing SP affirmations all day and you're not actually concentrating on you at the same time, that's when it gets a bit of dangerous territory because you're not really focusing on you, right? Wanted to hear from SP, so I imagined him snapping me. Check my snap, and he snapped me seconds later exactly how I imagined. Oh, wonderful, darling. What? Sorry, Loz. He says he still wants to be single because he's Muslim and won't let me convert for him, hot and cold. Okay, it's got nothing to do with him being a Muslim, darling. Don't fucking come in here blaming Islam for your problems. Guys, if you don't feel chosen, if you don't feel good enough, you will choose a person who's got a whole lot of fucking issues. They'll either be a different religion from you, they'll have an ex-wife they're not over, they'll still be married, they'll be getting engaged, they'll be workaholics, alcoholics, a whole lot of aholics, okay? They'll have a whole lot of reasons why you can't be together because you've got a dominant story, darling, that you won't be chosen. So don't blame him. Don't blame the whole fucking religion of Islam for your fucking problems. He's hot and cold because you don't think you're good enough. He's hot and cold because you don't think he wants you. He's hot and cold because you don't think you get what you want. He's hot and cold because you don't ultimately believe you'll be chosen by anyone. So what's it got to do with him? Think about the Romeo and Juliet story. Why did they not end up together? What is the story they held about their families? We cannot be together because I'm a Capulet and you're a Montague. And the Montagues and the Capulets hate each other. And because of that, they'll never let us be in love. If they had changed that story and decided that just one person in their family would have wanted them together, then it would have all worked out. But they had such a fucking dominant story they couldn't be together that it played out that way. You're Romeo and Julian yourself, darling, and then wonder why it's turning out that way. Lois, how can I manifest my kitty is perfectly healed and healthy? She's bouncing around like she was before. She's so healthy and healed now. She's eating all her food like she was before. She's in perfect health. I'm having Mediation Wednesday continue with the end. I'm reminding myself that everything is working out for me. Mediation, what, with your ex or something, darling? Well, just imagine that it all works out well. Don't imagine the worst. I know someone who went to a mediation anxious and it turned out real fucking bad because they went in there expecting the worst. Don't do that, darling. Should she leave the Friends of Benefits because he is with someone else and it is a Friends of Benefits? Guys, I don't tell you what to do here, but if you choose to be in a Friends of Benefits, you've got to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I choosing to be just the friend with benefits? Don't I think enough of myself that I deserve the full-blown relationship? Why am I putting up with this shit? Oh, that's about me. It's not about him. I shouldn't tell him anything. I should tell myself a whole lot of shit. All right, guys. So, guys, please do go to YouTube and watch my latest video, Setting Boundaries with Your Specific Person, especially if you want to do shit in the 3D or you want to have the talk with them or set a goddamn boundary with them. You really need to watch this video. Then there's also my squad, and if you come and join it this week, Back and Begging, the ultimate Manifest Your Specific Person Back course is going to feature and drop on Monday, and it goes for 2 full months. It's going to be 4 videos, or probably 5, workbooks and MP3 recordings to really manifest in your person and showing you all the mistakes you've been making thus far and why they haven't manifested back yet. Okay? It's a real eye-opening course and it will really help you if you've been struggling, and it's only $35 to join the squad. And when you're in the squad, you get all the benefits of the monthly coaching group, watching my bi-weekly coaching. You can watch the replays. I go live every Friday like this and you can ask questions. There's also the mentors to answer your questions in the forum, and it's a lovely supportive community. There's also my Make Them Obsessed course that's always there. And if you join this week, you'll also get Manifest All the Things. It's going to be leaving at the end of the week. So if you join now, you're going to get 3 courses, all for $35. It's a no-brainer. All right, guys. Thank you for following me. Thanks for joining me live, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.